Okay, so in today's session, we'll go through custom roles. So, when we talk about custom roles, so we discussed about roles, RBAC, role-based access control. So, as a part of discussion, we discussed few points. We have a job roles, duty roles, abstract roles, data roles. But data roles are not available from release 12 version onwards. Now we are in 13, same is applicable. Data roles you can find till release 11 version. So finally you can say we have a three type of roles classification as a job role, duty role, and abstract role. So job role, the roles which you are assigned to the user, that can be GL related roles or AP related roles. So far, whatever the roles we assigned, those all roles comes under job roles, even including application implementation consultant, IT security manager, employee roles also comes under job roles. So the duty roles will be part of job roles. The duty roles you cannot assign to the user directly. If you want to assign any duty role to the user, on top of it, you have to create the job role. That means for specific duty role you have to create the job role. That's how you can assign the duty role to job role through job role, sorry, the duty role to user through job role definition. Okay, job roles only we can assign to user, not duty role. If you want to assign the duty role to user, for the duty role you have to create the job role. That job role you can assign to the user so that the user can have access to the duty role which is available within the job role. So that's how it works. Now what we'll do is, so anyway, we'll see how to create the custom roles. Along with that, we'll go with the specific points. First, we'll find all the roles. Okay, we'll see what are the different roles we have as a part of application. Then we'll just review the roles. Specific role we can take and we can review. And we'll see the process of how to copy existing role, copy and modify. And before that, before copy and modify, we'll see, we'll compare roles. Okay, we'll compare roles. We'll take two roles and we'll compare how those two are different or similar. After that, we'll see how to copy the existing role and how to modify the same as per our requirement. We'll go through that point. Finally, we'll see how to create any role from scratch. Create new role. Okay, when you say copy and modify and create new role, that could be job or duty role. Any, we'll test both. Okay, we'll see how to copy the job role or how to copy the duty role, how to modify. The same way we'll see how to create the new job role and the new duty role. And finally, we'll just assign to the user and desktop process also. We'll see that we don't need to just take here as a separate point. Fine. So first we'll go and see what are the different, where we can find all the roles. Okay. So if you want to find all the roles, just navigate to security console. So based on the roles which you assigned, system can add the relevant task in this navigator. If you have a many roles assigned to your user, so system may hide the tools section. So in that case, you can find that by clicking on more. It is hiding the rest of functions which this user has a access. Just click on more, it will open the panel. Now you can see tools. Under tools, go to security console. Right now we are in the security console. See here, system is showing one message. import users and role application security data job. Okay, sorry. Import user and role application security data job has not been run successfully in last 24 hours. Schedule import users and application. The meaning of this job, this message is okay. So, what are the roles? Okay, what are the roles we have? All will be as a part of directory services. Okay, directory services. So as a part of directory services, that APM, Authorization Policy Manager, IDM, Identity Manager. Okay, through that the roles will be syncing with the directory services. What the message meaning is, what are the information you have in the directory services, okay, which is flowing from APM, Authorization Policy Manager, or you can say Access Policy Manager, or and we have another middleware component called as IDM, Identity Manager, or you can say Oracle Identity Manager, OM. IDM or OM both are same. Okay, so this IDM and OM, you can have these are two. This is like IDM or OM or APM. These are middleware components. So now, whatever we are doing from security console, that we are doing by connecting to these middleware components only. But this security console is a kind of dashboard or template kind of environment where data will be accessed from these components. So the what message says is, okay, the import users and role application security data. This is one of the job name. Okay, system saying in the last 24 hours this job is not submitted. Why we have to submit? So what are the actual information we have in this APM and IDM or OEM? If you want to synchronize the data with security console, any changes are done with the data which is available. We are accessing the data from APM and IDM only through security console. But still, if any changes are there, if those are not reflecting, it's recommended to run that job. So normally, ideally, it's not required, but all the time you can see the message. Anytime if you don't find some role, what are the roles you are expecting to see, if those are not available from the security console, or is there any some new roles are created, those got stored in the directory services. But whatever the roles are available in the application in the directory services as a part of APM or IDM, if those you are not able to access from the security console, okay, to update that information, okay, to refresh that information or to sync that information with security console, we have to run that job from ESS job page. Okay, you can see that warning message, but there won't be an issue at all. So normally automatically system will do the data synchronization, so that updated data will be available in the security console automatically. But it's recommended, but you no need to run it. If you see any issue, if you find the situation where so and so role is not available which should be available, in that case you may go and submit the same name, you can run that job. You just copy and paste and you can run it. So that is the purpose why this message we are getting sometimes. Okay, done. So now the first point here is, as we discussed, so where we can see all the roles. So all the roles you can see in the security console. So we are just so far we are dealing with the user part, right? User creation and roles assignment. So apart from that, we have many other tabs here. So one tab is roles. From here you can find specific roles, and this as we seen just users. And the next one is analytics. So within the analytics, you can see the complete information, how many roles we have, and again the roles are related to which areas of application. So if you notice here, so administrator related 9 roles we have, aggregate privileges related these many roles we have, and that's how just they classified all the roles and they're displaying here. So there are many roles which are related to different offerings or options, nothing but product family or specific module specific roles. Mostly they provide information here, offering specific, procurement related, job roles, duty roles, in the same way you could see for financials, HCM related roles. Now here you can see, so for financials almost we have 131 job roles. So job roles, the best example if you talk about payables, accounts payables manager, accounts payables supervisor, accounts payables specialist. So similar to that, for entire financial solution, we have 131 roles. But reality, those are not these 131 roles which you see here, not seeded roles. So what system will do is how many roles, job roles we have within this within this product, including the custom roles. Those may be copied and modified, or else just copied or created from the scratch. Irrespective of the classification, whether seeded or custom, system displays total roles which are available in this application. The same way, duty roles. Okay, what are the duty roles we have for financials, including the seeded as well as custom. In the fresh environment, if you when you get access to fresh environment by selecting duty roles or job roles, you can see the seeded roles. But here also you can understand by looking at that. Now, if you want to see those 131 job roles, whatever Oracle is delivering as well as which are created by users who are practicing on an instance, you can click on that financial job roles record and scroll little down below. System will display those 131 job roles. See, accounts payables manager, accounts payables manager, the role name is same, code name is different. This is the seeded roles which Oracle is providing. Already we discussed in the as a part of payables when we are assigning the roles, we discussed. So for same role, Oracle is just providing two codes. You can use any one of them, both will have the same privileges. And someone copied the accounts payables manager. So accounts payables manager, the suffix system is adding as a copy. This role is created by copying this accounts payable manager. Okay, so you can see here code also. That means this role is created by copying this role. The same way we have accounts payable specialist, the different codes, and that also specialist role also copied. Okay, that's how you can just go through all the roles whatever we have for financials, but whatever required primarily when we are working on the specific application, those will be covering as a part of specific application. See, someone created accounts receivable manager custom role. Okay, so you can just go through when we are practicing on the instance so that you can notice what are the different roles we have. The role is belongs to which application, that by seeing you can understand, because most of the roles will refer that application name. Okay, expense related, financial analyst, general accountant, general accounting manager. Okay, intercompany accountant manager, revenue accountant, tax accountant, tax manager. Okay, so the role related description also you can see here. If we place cursor, it just giving the pop-up message. So what is the purpose of the role, how it will be useful, the process of transactions or configuration. It's not more into configuration, majorly process only. Okay.
Lakshman, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can we see a role assigned to a specific user or certain users?
Sorry, can we see the role?
Roles assigned to a user.
You mean to say the role is assigned to which users?
Right. Okay, is there some report we can run to see which roles are assigned to which user and all that?
I think we don't have a some standard report that you can just simply you can build by writing the BI query, BI report definition. So just simple query you can write it and you can group the columns how you want to see. So we don't have any just standard report which shows and all, but here you could see in this process as a part of when you go to specific role and when you open there you could see the information that role is assigned to which users, that information they are giving as a part of security console. Okay, that point will I'll take you through, but we don't have some standard report. So simply you can just go and build it by using the BA report. So from where we can just create the simple BA reports that we are going to cover as a part of our classes. That's what I mentioned here as a create BA report. It's all about just writing the query, select so and so columns from so and so tables. Okay, you will be able to fetch that information. But no standard report we can see. Okay, fine. So this is how you can verify the job roles or duty roles for specific areas of application. Okay, so I selected duty roles. So duty roles you can see as a part of specific job roles. So if you notice here, just 1 second, we'll go through few very relevant duty roles so that we can understand.
And how can we see it through role, Lakshman? Are you gonna show it later?
Sorry,
How are we gonna see it through role? Like which roles are assigned to which user?
we'll see that. We'll see that. I'm
Okay.
going to take you through that. Yeah. So simple. I'll search for. So these all just comes under duty roles. See, payables invoice creation is we call as duty role. Payables invoice inquiry is one of the duty role. Okay. So payables payment creation is duty role. Payables period close. So duty role. This is how just you can find out many duty roles which are related to financials, which belongs to different applications within the financials. Okay. So this is a place where we can find out all the roles. Okay, this is how we have, and here the same the graphical representation they are giving. So the abstract roles, how many we have, like all the roles you can see from here. So that's all about roles and all. This is not required. Now you can just go to the last one called as administration part. At- So here you can go to the section called as a roles, tab called as roles. Here you can give the suffix. So when you copy any existing role, okay, what suffix system has to take? Okay, what suffix system has to take that you can specify here. So if you specify here as a copy, if you copy the accounts payables manager role, what system will do? It will create the new role called as accounts payables manager copy. Or else if you want to add some suffix also, you can specify here. So that's how you can just set the preferences for copied roles, prefix and suffix. The same way you can see some general information and all. These are not now it's not required. It's a user generation, user creation related. We'll talk on that. Here you can specify all the days before password expiration, how many days all this. In case of EBS user creation only, there itself will be finding within the user creation form we can find the options within how many days or within how many sessions the user password should get expired, and that specification you can give. But here you can set up that information. This part we'll discuss later. Now we are not talking about user. So roles. So those are the details which you have to understand. These certifications and are not related to roles. So the first tab where we can search and find specific role to review the information or to create the new role or to compare the new role or to copy the role. Everything you can perform from this roles tab. The second tab anywhere related to users and this and analytics. From here you can just go and do analyze analyze the info. Okay, so roles here. It's defaulting to database resource. From the analytics, you can just analyze how many roles we have, and based on the classification of roles, again offering wise, you can find it. Okay, and as a part of this administration, when you work on the roles, okay, how you want to prefix or suffix for the copied roles, that information you can specify. These are the few points we have to understand. Okay, that's all about the point just I have mentioned. Find all the roles from where you can find from security console. Now we'll go on to review the role. We'll go through the role. We'll open and we'll see the role. In case of EBS menu, you can go to the sysadmin, and from there you can query the menu called, let's say for example, GL underscore super user, GL super user menu. Within that, what are the submenus we have, and again within the submenus, what functions we have, you can verify. The same way, how to verify the role has which duty roles inside of the role, and what are the privileges the duty roles has or else the role has directly. We'll see that. So to go through the roles, what we can do is you have to be in the security console. The first tab is roles. Now you can search for any role. You can search for any role. Say we'll search for the role called as accounts payable, say supervisor. You can search for any role, accounts payable supervisor or manager specialist. Okay, accounts payable supervisor. These are BU mapped roles which are coming since the environment is upgraded environment. Okay, these all system is showing. So these are the job roles. Okay, so accounts payable supervisor. You can select this role, and before that the above roles, just to understand. So this all we treat as a data roles. This concept is not applicable in the 12 from release 12, and but since this environment is migrated, upgraded environment, what are the however the definitions, data roles definitions were available in release 11, those upgraded to 12, 12 to now in 13 also the same available, but we don't use it. What are the new BUs or primary ledgers you create for that system won't create this kind of data roles. So now anyway here we can find only, we have to search for only job roles or duty roles. So we'll go with a specific job role, accounts payable supervisor. Okay, so now here you can find out the information. So the description of role. So here you can see the description, what the role, I mean, very high level the description you can see, but here you can see all the privileges within this accounts payable supervisor role. What are the other roles we have? Means duty roles. Okay, these all are the different duty roles, and again those will be inherited by other role. Those will be part of another role. It's all like to sync with the complete process of uh, functionalities which we have in the payables and the integration related functions, everything will be part of that. Okay, how that, in which processes and in which integrations the payables application is, uh, the payable application, that what are the privileges this accounts payables manager has, accounts payable supervisor has, the function related, all integrations related, duty roles and inherited roles also you can find here. Okay, that means this payable supervisor role consists of all these duty roles and different privileges. Okay, so now we are able to see all this information with the representation of table view, and now you can go with the graph representation. You can click on graph. It shows in the graphical representation. So this is a role. You can just zoom in. So the role name is accounts payable supervisor, right? That's what we selected. So within that accounts payable supervisor, what are the duty roles we have? Okay, or else the role may consist the same role inside of the role. The same you can notice here. Within the accounts payable supervisor, we have a role called as accounts payable supervisor. Okay, if you notice, the difference is the accounts payable supervisor role code is AP accounts payable supervisor job. See that in the pop-up. So within the accounts payable supervisor role, again we have a job role called as accounts payable supervisor only, but you see the code ORA AP accounts payable supervisor. Okay, that means within the accounts payable supervisor we have accounts payable supervisor role only, but the codes are different. The primary code they are taking, which starts with AP, the other inside of the role they are representing with ORA AP accounts payable supervisor. Okay, so that's how we have here. You can just notice that point. Now you can just go to this accounts payable supervisor. The accounts payable supervisor role has which privileges, if you want to know, just double click on that. So here it is opened, but you can drag, you can zoom out to see what privileges that has. So these are the different privileges this accounts payable manager supervisor role has. So within that, again say we have a another duty role called as subledger accounting manager, and here we have a, just let me drag this side. So payables invoice processing, that is a duty role we have. You can double click on this will be open again. You can zoom out. So this is the actual role that we expanded. It opened same accounts payable supervisor. Now from there just we connected to duty role. Just expand and you can see. The duty role name is payables invoice processing. So the payables invoice processing duty role has access to what? These all. Okay, create United States 1099 tax related privileges they have. And if you know, I mean, just to compare with EBS, in EBS, when you create the responsibility, we just associate menu undo request group to the responsibility along with the data group. So that means just we are grouping menu undo request group into responsibility. So for certain functions or to have access to certain privileges from specific responsibility, we maintain all those separately as a menu. And to provide the access to the user from responsibility to run the reports or to submit some requests, we have a separate concept called as request group. We have a request group for reports and processes, menu for certain functions. But in Fusion, these both can be maintained within the role only. See, if you notice here, submit payables, okay, credit memo matching report. The reports and functions you can have as a part of the role only. Okay, basically that you can maintain within the duty role, or else directly you can select into job role. See, these most of the access you could see reports only: submit payables matching hold report, submit payables prepayment remittance notice. Okay, that's how you can find. There are many reports which this role has access. Apart from that, we have access like access to validate payables invoices, so view purchase orders. Okay, so that's how we have other functions also. That means role, within the role we can maintain, we can select the reports as well as privileges. Okay, so that's how just you can look into this information. The same way here we have other duty
Lakshman,
role called as,
this
yeah please.
yeah. Lakshman, this whatever view we are having is pretty. I think I personally think uncomfortable, right? Because you have to drag there are drawings and everything.
Yeah, in that case you
Is
can
that
go with this.
listing?
You can go with view as a table, or else you can expand this. Okay, you can expand it and you can just go through it. See, anyway, see here you don't need to, we don't need to think about this here, just graphical representation they given. So if you want to know detail level, here you can come to know. You can compare two roles or specific role, what privileges we have, detail level you can get to know. So we have a separate option. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Here just to review, but say for example you have a three business users who are working for payables. When you are working for project, 3 or 10 business users we have who are working for payables based on their job. Okay, based on their roles in the responsibility in the department, you want to assign the exact role to the user. In that case we have to just compare what are the roles we have, which role has which privileges. Here we are not just comparing, it's all about just we are going through specific role. So when you go with a comparison, there you can see very detailed level listed privileges for each and every role, and that can be compared with other role. That's how you can just take the better decision to choose what is the right role to choose for so and so user, or else which role need to be customized to add some additional functions or to remove some functions. That we can just work on it. Okay. So in the next step we will see that, as that after going through this review role, we'll go to compare roles. There we can have a very just detailed view where simply you can get to know the complete information. Fine. Just since this option
Lakshman.
is available, I'm just taking you through this. That's all. Fine. So this is how you can just find out all this information. And say, for example, here we have one duty role called as payables payment processing. If you just click on that, it has which privileges you can see. So you can zoom in. Okay, so it has a privileges to submit this program, this report, and this report. If you
Lakshman,
just
I have a question.
minimize this, again double click. Sorry.
Can you hear me, Lakshman?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay, I have a question. So my question is, can one job role be assigned under another job role like
Yeah.
submenu?
Yes, yes, yes. One job
Okay.
role can be part of another job role. Yes, possible.
Okay. And the pink ones are nothing but the duty roles, right? Here
Sorry.
in this diagram, in this float, in this chart, the pink ones are the duty roles, right?
Yeah, all are duty roles. Yes, exactly.
Okay. And
So,
the orange one, any?
that basically we call as aggregated role and all. Here you can notice that legend just role you could see in this color, and predefined roles. Predefined roles, nothing but those are duty roles only. Sometimes if you place another job role also, that also you can see as a predefined role.
Okay.
So aggregated privilege means it is not a role, specific function, direct function. Okay.
Okay.
So in EBS case we have a menu, submenu, and function. The same way role means, so you can say like it's a job role, and predefined role means it's a duty role. It's aggregated privilege means it's a function.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we can compare.
So duty role can also be a function, right?
Duty
Equivalent to a
role,
function.
no. Duty role consists of functions.
Okay. It's a group of functions, but you
Yeah.
cannot assign it to the
Yes.
user. Okay.
Yes. If you see here, just you could notice only one aggregate privilege we have. Okay, that's all about review accounts payables accounting period status. So that means that separately we can assign. Okay, that they given as a separate aggregate privilege. So this is how just you may just go through this sort of information just for understanding. Okay, done. I'm just going to collapse this, restore the panel. So here we have a view like where you can go with a list or table mode or else graphical representation. Fine. Now, okay. So this is how we can view information from here, or else you can just go and compare the roles. Say for example, we selected this role, accounts payable supervisor. Just click on compare roles. You can select from here. If you want to navigate from there, you can just navigate from here. You can see that. Okay. So for example, this role you want to compare with another role. In that case, so this is a role name, and this is a code. This is a description. Now, okay. For this, we have a drop down option. Click on the drop down actions. Here you can see compare role. If you want to compare this accounts payable supervisor role with another role, you can just click on compare role. So it is getting selected. Otherwise, if you don't do from there, just directly you can click on compare role. Instead of going through this action compare, then this role will be compared with another role, or else which roles you want to compare, you can select directly also. For that, you can use this tab. Click on this compare roles tab. Okay, since it's just a defaulted, it is showing the same. Otherwise, by default it will take us to this page. One second. Security console. Say compare roles. So this is how we will be landing in this page. So now you can select which roles you want to compare, the first role and the second role. Two roles you can compare. So we'll go with the accounts payables manager and supervisor, or specialist and supervisor, or manager, anything. Say accounts payable manager, or I'll say supervisor. So accounts payable supervisor role we want to compare with accounts payable specialist role. How these two are different, which role has more privileges, which role has, between these two, like what are the distinct privileges we have, that we can understand. Say accounts payable specialist. So these two roles we want to compare and we want to analyze which is a suitable role to assign to a specific business user. If those are meeting as per the need, we can directly assign, or else these roles we copy and will remove which privileges that user doesn't require as per the job what they do, and we can just assign to the user. After this, we'll see how to copy and modify also. Okay, just select first and second role, then click on compare. it may take some time because it has to fetch complete privileges which are available under these two roles. Fine. Now it's displaying. So these are the privileges. Okay. So you could see all this: cancel invoice, okay, create invoice. All these are the different privileges which our system is just displaying. So set supplier transfer files. So all the privileges is displaying. Now here, if you notice, supplier payable, accounts payable supervisor and accounts payable specialist. So for which privileges, which role has its system is showing. So these all privileges accounts payable supervisor has, and accounts payable specialist doesn't have that privileges as a part of this role. So within this role, accounts payable specialist, so we don't have all these privileges. Let's scroll down. So most of the privileges this accounts payable specialist doesn't have. So these all, so only those are available from accounts payable supervisor. And here these privileges, like these two roles has, again they are the specific privileges this payable specialist doesn't have. Just we can just go through this, you can understand it's all about big list where we can see that. So done. Okay, so this is all about just how we can see like which role has which privileges and which role doesn't have access to the same. And apart from that, here in terms of show, we have a different options. So now you want to see only in the first role. Okay, first role in the sense accounts payable supervisor, we want to filter, select only in first row. So here whatever the list you see, these all are available only in the first role, and the same not available in the accounts payable specialist. Okay, these all privileges are available only in the supervisor only, not in the specialist role, the reports or anything. Okay, these all privileges we have in only payable supervisor. The same way, if you want to know what are the privileges we have only in the payable specialist role, and which are not the same, should not be I mean the same only in the sense that won't be available in the supervisor. If you want to check that, you can select. So only very few, only four. Okay, so these four privileges we have as a part of specialist, and the same is not available from supervisor. So that's how you can filter. And other option is in both roles, what are the common privileges these two roles has. Okay, common functions or say common privileges. Just click on in both roles. There are many, all like all privileges these two roles has. It's all about create payable invoices. You can create payable invoices if you have access to payable supervisor or payable specialist. From any role you can create the payables invoices. You can delete privilege function also available from two roles. The same way edit payable invoices you can do from any role. Okay, that's how you can just go through and you can see all the information. Import payable invoices you can do from any one of this role, and in the same way you can just verify, you can find all the details. Fine, this is how just we can compare the role and we can just get that information. And if you want to take this analysis comparison related information, you can take into spreadsheet also. Here you can say export to spreadsheet. That information, these details, whatever you could see as displaying, that can be exported into spreadsheet. In the spreadsheet you may just prepare the data like how you want to finalize which are not required, which are required for specific business users. So based on that you can copy the seeded one and you can do the required modifications. Okay, that's how we can do here. So this is how we can compare two roles. The same way, like again, now you want to compare the same payables manager role with the payable supervisor. Yeah, please.
Lakshman, what is the type?
Sorry.
When you compare roles, there is a type in the at the bottom on the left hand side. Type.
This
Yeah, that one.
this is just the application, some classification related type. You'll see that we no need to focus on that point. Only here we'll find the function name. We'll see that.
Okay.
Yeah. So technically, how we classified object based, they are giving type. So now we want to compare accounts payables manager with specialist. Accounts payable specialist. We want to compare these two roles. Click on compare. Fine. See the functional security policies. The functional security policies means it's related to function. That is the meaning of that. When you copy the role or when you are creating the role from the scratch, there will come across this terminology which you see. Means the meaning is it is function. Okay, this is a function. That's how it is represented. All are functions. Okay, fine.
Okay.
So here you can just note when you compare which privileges this role has, what are the distinct. Only first role has, only second role has, and common. Sorry?
What is the meaning of add to second row? The plus sign? What is the meaning of that? Next to the export to Excel. It's grayed out.
Add to second role.
Yes.
So from here that function, we don't see that as that enables here. One second. Only in the first row. Okay, select it. I don't see here it is enabled. One second, we'll just refresh this. But we don't do kind of adding and all. It's all about some function. It's like add to second row, but we don't do that sort of activities from this page. This is just we can use for analysis only. I've seen like that as it is we use here. Say all. So I don't think so. It has some function to do that. But anything if you want to add to second role, see for example this function you have, this you want to include into this role, but it's not recommended to do from here because these are seeded roles. Seeded roles you should not touch. So if this role is some custom role, it may display you to just move from here to there. Okay, in that case, I might have given that,
Okay.
but that also that kind of custom role or any role, just adding some additional privileges into next role or anything we do from the other panel. This generally we use only for comparison purpose. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is all about just comparing the roles. Now we'll go to other point. I'll just say done. Here you search for any one of the role. Accounts payable, say supervisor. Okay, this role is one role only, but with the two different codes are already copied. So you can select any one of the role. Now you can go to actions. Okay, you can go to actions, and here compare we just tested. Now you can click on simulate. Just click on simulate navigator, and it may take minute time. We'll wait for that. So we selected accounts payable supervisor role, and we just choose the option called as simulate navigator. That means the selected role related privileges which are available in the current navigator that it will display. Here you can say access granted. That means if you have any privileges we have from this user, for this user has any privileges because of this accounts payable supervisor, which privileges this user got with the help of this accounts payable supervisor, those system will list out here. So it is showing invoices and payments. The invoice and payments access we have from this user, which is available from accounts payable supervisor. So remaining what you could see, these all are just commonly we get it. Okay, commonly this would be available. Okay, but primarily this is what just you can understand. That's how you can simulate. You can just verify. So this role granted which access to this user, that you can just check from the navigator itself. Okay, that's how you can perform the simulation. You can conduct the test of knowing, okay, what access we have and all. So that's all about just simulation. Now we'll see how to copy the seeded role and how to modify it. So you take the same role, accounts payable supervisor, and you can just go to actions, and we have edit role. But just don't work on this edit role function if the role is seeded role. We can use the edit role only in case if you are dealing with the already copied role or custom role. So this accounts payable supervisor role is seeded role. The seeded roles we should not disturb. Even when you are practicing also, just don't go with edit mode for the seeded roles. If you want to edit this role, what you can do, copy this role. Once you copy, you can just edit that role as per your requirement. Please follow that process. Don't edit seeded roles. Fine. Now what we have to is, so this is a role we have. We need certain privileges to the user. We want to remove few. We want to
Can
add
you able to hear me?
additional. Yeah, please.
Yeah, so we are having access to this edit because of the application implementation consultant role.
Not because of that. We have access to IT security manager. That is the reason we are able to access security console.
Okay.
Yeah. Because of say IT security manager, we are having full access to security console. That's all. Fine.
Lakshman,
Yeah.
is is there a way we can gray out this edit rule? Like if we can restrict anybody to even click on edit role by mistake to edit the seeded role? Is there a way to do that in the system?
So in that case, what we have to do is that comes under some administration part, the security console administration part. So that level of privileges they are not giving to us, because see it is not to it is related to specific role, right? It's not related to your accounts payable supervisor or manager or specialist or GL, general accountant and all. This is the function which is available from the security console, which is applicable for any role. So if at all any, just if you want to restrict and all, only the cases, only the possibilities, you have to talk to Oracle, and we have to hear from them, because that is the part of functionality we have in the security console. So we don't have anything to switch on or off this edit or some other drop down values which you are getting from this actions. Okay. So when if you speak with Oracle, they may just help us. Not sure. We have to check with them. But these controls we don't have. Like it's again cloud environments and all. So we don't have any option where we can gray out certain these functions. Fine. So now just we can click on copy role and make a copy. So copy top role and copy top role and inherited role. Okay, copy top role means to support this accounts payable supervisor role related functionality, it will copy the role. Copy top role and inherited roles. Inherited roles means, so this role within the role, what are the duty roles we have? The duty roles has a uh, some inherited, some hidden inside of the roles. Those also, if you want to copy, you can just go with the this option. This would be fine. You will be getting access to everything. Okay, it's not required directly, you can say copy role. So done. See here, system is taking suffix as a GSC. What is the reason it is taking? Here we have seen. So you can set the preferences, right? Just opening the same instance in the another tab. Just go to security console. Administration. So here we have, see here we have a suffix as GSC. That is reason whatever the role we copied, it is adding GSC. Okay, that's how it will do. So role whatever we copied, that is a job role only related to finance. So the category also system is picking, and here you can write it. So that information, since you are just copied, you are copying, you can just give the name like this. Say Google accounts payable. Okay. I'll say super user. Fine. The code also you may just edit it as you require. So here we are going to give the access to invoices, payables, invoice creation. Then click on next. Just we copied. Okay, just we copied. So here you can see that function security policies, which we have seen at the time of compare roles. That means these are nothing but privileges. Add function security policies. If you want to add any privileges, these are the predefined privileges we have within this. Okay, you still whatever the hidden, you can load it by clicking on load inherited policies. It will load whatever the other privileges this role has, which are hidden again. It loaded all. The same from compare, you can see all this. Okay, so these are the different privileges we have as a part of this role. Just 1 second. Okay, so this is all just we have. So if you want to add some additional privileges, you can add. Click on add function security policies. Yes, you can click on that. Any additional, if you want to add, you can add it. What you want to add also, you can filter and you can search. You want to add another job role into this job role, or you want to add another duty role or abstract role like employee and other roles in the sense it could be anything, just or just privileges. So what you want to add into this, that you can just add here. Say this is the role name is accounts payables. Super user we given the reality, that is supervisor. You want to include another role called as specialist into this, so you can search and add accounts payable specialist. Search again. So add selected privileges. Sorry. Search again. The not first one. We selected this one. ORA starts with ORA here. Whatever you selected, there is ORA prefix that you can add it. It will be added. Roles. All privileges from the role accounts fields is already assigned to the Google. Okay, it's already assigned. I think last time when you click, it got assigned. So done. So that's how just we can add the additional roles. Whatever we added, we'll be able to see. Okay. Done. So this all comes under function security policies. If you want to delete anything, you can delete from here. You can select and you can delete, and you can click on next. Okay. Here, data security policies. Data security policies means this role required access to which data, whether this role required access to business unit or primary ledger, or what exactly, that we have to specify. Here you could see. So the data security policies, since this is a seeded role, we copied all the data security policies also copied to this. You can notice. So this role will have a connectivity with the business unit the same way, subledger accounting and many other areas, ledger related, supplier related. So all you could see here. So this is how just you can notice. If you are creating the role from the scratch, we have to add all this. Anyway, I'll just take you through how to add it. Okay, but just notice these are the data security policies we have, and data resource, nothing but this role can connect it to what are the resources. One of the resources business unit, the same way primary ledger. Okay, sub ledger accounting, supplier. Supplier site, supplier lookups. So normally what we do is just we copy the role, existing role, just we remove whatever we don't require, whatever additional, whatever we require, that will be including. That's how normally we just proceed with that. And again, just we'll see that how to add. Since it's a copied one, we don't need to add it. We'll be creating one role from the scratch. At that time, we'll go through that. So you can just click on next. Here you can see the role hierarchy. Within this role, what are the other roles we have? All you can see. From this place also, you'll be able to assign the other roles. Okay, you can add other roles also. You can delete some function. Okay, this role here, see the payables invoice creation. This is the duty role. You don't need this duty role into this role. You can delete it. Okay, whatever you don't need here, just everything you can delete. And what are the additional roles or privileges you require, you can add from here. Okay, same way you can just click on next. And users, so if this role is assigned to any user, by default system will display all the users here. Okay, so from here you can find this role is assigned to which user. If you take any seeded user, there you can see that user, that role is already assigned to how many users. You'll be able to find it. Since this is a new user, it is showing it is not assigned. If you want to assign from here also, you can assign to the user. This role you can assign to the user from here itself, instead of searching user and assigning by following the standard process which we follow. So I want to assign this role to Google user. Assign. Done. You can assign to multiple users from here itself. You can see the summary of report, impact report. So what changes we did and all. So what changes we did, nothing we did this relevant. Only users added, only one user added. Rest we didn't do any changes and all. Say submit and close. So this is how just you can copy the role and you can modify the same role. Just now we assigned to user also. Within the security console, okay, if you go to users, so Google, click on username. Here you can find the role called as Google Payable Supervisor. I think it's not reflecting. May take some time. This will sign out and sign in. Just now we added it. Just it will be added. So since within the same panel we just switch to other tab, it is not showing. Say Google. You can find in the security console as it is added. To the same you can provide the data access also. Directly we can go to the data access. If it is added to user, that should appear from the data access for users, where we can assign our BU to that role. Right, data access for users. So already that role we assigned to this user, right? So that same you can find from here. So Google accounts payable super user. Security contest is business unit. You can assign BU. So this is how you can just copy the job role and you can add or you can remove the relevant functions or other roles also you can add into that. Directly from there you can assign to the user also. And now we'll see how to just copy and copy the duty role, how that can be just assigned to another role. Go to security console. So you can search for a duty role. So payables, invoice creation. Let's select payables, invoice creation, duty role. So here we have, so the duty role colors. Here you could see the title, duty role. Okay, duty role name is payables invoice creation. Select it. Fine. Now you can copy this, copy row. Say copy row. Here you can give prefix as Google. So all the same description is defaulting invoice creation, standard user interface or spreadsheet. Click on next. So this has these privileges. Okay, it has these limited privileges. So scanned payable invoices, purchase orders, view, all these are view related privileges, and validate payable invoices. Import payment requests, import payable invoices, edit, delete, create, import validation errors through spreadsheet. So apply or unapply prepayments. These are the privileges by default we have within this duty role. Okay, now just other hidden inherited policies also, if you want to see, you can just load it, that it will display. So this all inherited is not primary things which we focus on transaction process. Those will be supporting for the relevant whatever activities we do. So inherited, you no need to focus on this. Leave it. Now you can click on next. The same data security policy system is copying. Click on next. Role hierarchies and all. Okay. So in this stage, functional security policies stage or any stage, just you can add additional privileges if you want to add. So we are here. We want to add some additional privileges. We want to give the access to one report. Okay. If you assign this role to any user, the user should be able to run so and so report. Say submit uh, invoice. Say payables. It should start with the payables. Submit payable invoice aging report. You want to add this report to this role. You can add it. Search. Add it. Sorry. Here, see, notice that point. See, I'm searching for the role. It is showing the same. But if you look at the code, okay, so starting with the same, that but ending with OBI, and it's a preview. Just select the second one, not OBI, specified suffix code. The second one you can select. Say add, it will be added. So add it. So this is how the reports or anything, just you can add it. Okay, so we have a different privileges here. Say for example, I don't want to allow this user to validate the invoices through this role. If I assign this role called as duty role called as Google payables invoice creation duty role to user through job role, that user should not be able to do the invoice validation. I want to remove that. Yes, select validate payable invoice. Okay, so 1 second. Select, then click on delete. This would be deleted. Okay, so this is how just you can add any functions or anything. selected, you can just click on delete it. The same way, if you want to add any functions, say this role by default we don't have any deletion. In that case, if you want to add invoice validation, you can add it. Validate, right? Validate payable invoice. Add as a privilege. After selecting, click on search PRIV. With this suffix, you can just click on add privileges. So this is how you can add it. The same way, any other privileges. Okay. So create payment. You want to give this privilege into this invoice creation super user. Maybe that user required access to payment creation also. In that case, this privilege also you can add into this. Okay, this create payment. It's going to receipt, customer related. It's not applicable. Payables payments. Create payables payments. Search the same we have. You can add it. That's how just you can add it. Again, if you want to add some additional role also from here you can do, or else from role hierarchy also you can add it. So reality just you are creating payables invoice creation only, but within this you include a payment creation privilege also. If you want to add some additional role into this duty role, you can add job role into job role or job role into duty role also. Finally, that duty role you have to add to some job role to give the access to user. So here I can say this is duty role, but I can assign job role to this duty role. Say accounts payable specialist. Add membership, that means it will assign. Done. So that's how you can just add. Because of that, there are many privileges added here. Okay, next. Okay, see here, add user function is grayed out. Reason, this is not a job role, this is a duty role. It cannot be assigned. And submit. Now duty role we created. This duty role you may assign to job role which we created, means which we copied and modified. That is Google accounts payable super user. You can select. You can click on, now you can go with edit option. This is already custom role which you created by copying the seated. Now you can go to next. You may add that duty role into this custom job role. Yes, this is what we want to add, say Google payable invoice creation.
So, Lakshman,
Yeah.
so we can add a job role, a duty role, or a function to this.
Yes, exactly.
This copy job role.
Yes. Anything you can add to job role or duty role. Simple. But duty role only, job role only you can assign to user. See, you have a duty role. Within the duty role, you have a job roles. Because you have a job roles within the duty role you cannot assign to user. Okay. So this is what just we have to understand. In tomorrow sessions, it's already 9:30. In tomorrow session, we'll see How to create the job role or duty role from the scratch. We'll go through that process. So any questions on today's session, please?
You said tomorrow, Lakshman? Tomorrow or Monday?
Yeah, Monday. I'm sorry. Yes, tomorrow, Saturday. Okay, next session on Monday. Okay, in the next session, we'll see how to create this roles from the scratch, any role. How to just, we'll go through that relevant points which we have to understand and how those works.
Lakshman?
Yeah.
Lakshman, Monday, what time is the class?
Monday, just it would be on the same like as we discussed. We'll be starting at 6 o'clock. I'll be circulating the mail today. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll be sending the mail so that we can.
So what about Tuesday, 1st May?
Sorry,
What about Tuesday, 1st May?
Tuesday.
Tuesday we have a class on 1st May.
So Tuesday, just not sure. Like Tuesday. 1 second.
1st of May.